week's decision by the federal government to veto the building of the Traveston Dam in Queensland has highlighted the contentious nature of the debate over water use in Australia. The chairman of Southern Californian Metropolitan Water District, Timothy Brick, is leading a delegation of specialists on a visit to Australia. He advises both the US government and the California Governor, Arnold Schwarzenegger, on water issues. Timothy Brick joins us now from Canberra. Timothy Brick, good morning and welcome to the country.
Oh, very pleased to be here, Joe.
Now, give us an idea, first of all, of the extent of the water challenges facing California.
Well, I think we're in the third year of a very serious drought, 10 years of drought on the Colorado River, but I think we're somewhat behind Australia. I think they're 10 years ahead of us in terms of responding to drought and climate change.
So you've been part of a delegation visiting Australia since November the 9th, and Australia is seen as a bit of a canary in the mine when it comes to water issues?
Definitely. You really are the leader in many ways in terms of framing the appropriate response to water issues, protecting the environment and also ensuring the needs of agriculture and vital human needs as well.
And from what you've seen over the last week or so, are there any initiatives that you'll be taking back to the US?
Well, I'm very impressed with a whole variety of things, particularly the way you've readjusted water rights. There's a lot of the governance issues and some of the response to the environment. I'm very impressed with some of the steps that are being taken to improve irrigation efficiency of agricultural users.
And specifically, what in relation to water rights?
Well, the way water rights have been quantified and individualized so that individual farmers have water rights, and the creation of a market really provides for a much better mechanism for transferring water and making sure that it goes to the highest value use.
It's strange to hear an international expert saying things like this, praising Australia, because we get the idea that the Murray-Darling system in Australia, which I'm sure you've covered while you've been here, is in a real mess at the moment, and that the future is not looking good for that system.
Well, it's a very interesting parallel to the situation we have in the southwest of the Colorado River Basin, which is very similar for the southwest. But I think you're taking steps in order to establish the correct rights and what's a sustainable kind of extraction system from that basin and to divide the water appropriately. You're moving to improve agricultural efficiency. There's steps being taken to ensure the urban water use as well. So I think you're moving in a good direction.
One of the big issues while you've been here has been the federal government's rejection of the Traveston Dam proposal. Some people believe now that indicates the era of the large-scale dam is possibly over. From what you've heard on the tour, is that likely to be the case?
I think it probably is, and I think we have similar concerns in the United States, although California is still considering two major dams and reservoirs. But I think the era of large dams as the big solution is largely over.
Why?
Well, they're expensive. There isn't the water there a lot of times for them. They have transport costs associated with them, and there's a lot of environmental impacts that are associated with dams that are negative.
So what's the alternative?
Well, the alternative is better water management. It's establishing better market mechanisms in order to transfer water to high-value uses. It's better management of groundwater resources. It's desal. It's a whole series of other things related to water efficiency and recycling, reusing water as well.
Now, so you say that there are two proposals for dams in California at the moment. That's right?
That's true.
But it's not likely either of those will get up?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. There's been recently a major package has gotten through the California legislature with the support of Governor Schwarzenegger in order to reform California water law. I think it's the most significant package in 50 years, and it does have a provision for looking at two new dams as well as looking at groundwater storage in order to meet future needs. So we'll see if those two dams move forward or not.
So you go head-to-head with Arnold Schwarzenegger. What's it like?
Well, he's quite a leader, quite a dynamic leader, and he's been particularly out there in terms of climate change and water resources as well. These are really the big issues that he's focused on, is infrastructure development, which is so important to the future of our region.
Okay, Timothy Brick in Canberra, thanks very much for talking to us this morning.
Thank you, Joe.